All right, let's help out Charlotte here because I think she's a little bit like Mo. She, had a really tough breakup, and like a lot of us do after tough breakups, we just kind of recoil, right? So she did that and then finally took some breaths, goes out on a first date. She thinks it goes well, and clearly it doesn't because dude ghosts her and it's driving her crazy. Hey, Charlotte.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning. Okay. So let's start with the breakup and what happened with the ex to get you to the point where you're just like, I'm not even going to date.
Honestly, it was just one of those things where, it wasn't working and we were both unhappy, and so we decided to end it. And sometimes I think that's harder because when there's no clear reason, you just kind of blame yourself and get in your head about it.
Mm-hmm.
So I just kind of took some time, kind of just like what Mo was saying he did. And I have not had the same luck coming out of it as Mo. I thought I did.
Give it time.
Yeah. So I finally, I was like, all right, I'm going to get back into it, and signed up for all the dating sites and whatever. And I met a guy named Samuel on Tinder. And it was really promising. We hit it off. We had great conversation and decided we were going to meet up in person. We went for drinks. It was Saturday, not this past one, the one before. Just met in the afternoon, had some drinks, just had a really great time. We laughed and had interesting conversation. And I don't know, it just went really, really well. And I said, let's do this again. He said, yes, absolutely. I had a blast. Let's do it. And I haven't heard anything from him since.
Now, before, Bert, you would have been like, he's telling you everything you need to hear. Why do you care? But are you take a different stance these days ever since it happened to Mo, right?
Not after a first date necessarily. I think there's some wiggle room. There's some wiggle room here. I will take, if I have to draw a generalization, I think it's cowardly to ghost. I think one sentence text is all it needs. I mean, the bar is set so low now. You don't even have to speak to the person and say, and have that awkwardness this doesn't work for me. All it's got to be is a text to let them know okay, you know what? We didn't see our situation through the same lens. Done, over with, no harm, no foul. But in this case, there's just a little wiggle room because it was one date, but I understand the curiosity.
So Tommy, what was that one line that you came up with again that anybody can send if you don't want to go on a second date or you don't want to see anybody anymore without ghosting?
You're a great person, just not the person for me. Boom.
Yeah, and we even added to that in our bonus content.
Yeah.
We added 10 more non-offensive lines that just kind of let the other person know that, you know what, you're great, it just doesn't work for me so much. It's all it takes, right? So, but I do think there might be... I don't even want to say there's wiggle room after our first date. It's just the polite thing to do. It's rude to just bail, and it's just cowardly. So with that, when you're looking back at this date, there was nothing at all that indicated to you there would be no second date.
I mean, it's kind of hard to say because I was nervous and, I felt like everything was going well, but I'm sure I said some stupid things. I don't know if he's looked through my social media and found that I can't put my finger on, that was it.
And Charlotte, I wanted to ask you, since he is ghosted, have you gone through his social media? I mean, do we know he's still with us?
Yeah, he is still posting, okay. And I've sent a couple texts, 2 to him, and he's read them. So I know he's alive as well.
That is...
Wow, you got the read receipts on.
Unless... he's not with us anymore, and somebody has his phone and is just texting his texts. That's the only good reason to ghost if you're dead.
Yes.
That's it.
That's the only one.
Because then you're a real one.
You're a ghost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
Only ghosts can ghost.
Yes, correct.
Seems fair. Okay, so even though he is telling you everything that you need to know, look, dude's not into you. I saw this quote the other day that if a guy is into you, you will never have to question if he is into you.
It's so true.
Because he's going to show you. So we reached out to this guy, but everything you need to know is telling you he's not into it, right?
And is that right, Charlotte?
I mean, definitely the impression that I'm getting.
Yes.
And the only other thing, like, I would like clarification when it comes to Tinder, because I know there's a lot of different dating apps now. Am I wrong in my assumption that Tinder isn't so much for dating as it is for hooking up, and it's more of like you're looking for something physical, or are people looking for like legit relationships off of Tinder?
In my experiences, you can use it for different reasons, but I do think that the people that Tinder tends to attract are more so looking for hooking up than actual relationships.
And so if he didn't get the hookup, that's why he's like, I'm not going to bother.
That could be a reason.
Okay.
Or he's easier somewhere else.
And he's not going to admit that, right?
Nope.
Sorry, we didn't hook up, and that's what I was looking for. He'd rather ghost. Okay, so Charlotte, hang with us for a couple of seconds, because our studio director, our show director, Tommy, reached out to him and got an answer. So when we come back here in a couple of minutes, we'll tell you exactly why there's been no second date, okay?
Okay.
All right, Bert Show second date update coming up next.
The Bert Show.
It's driving Charlotte absolutely crazy here. So she was dating a guy for a while. They break up. She takes a couple of breaths and then ends up going out on a date with a dude. She says they have a great time. There seems to be a connection there. She's feeling great about things. And then poof, dude goes away. This is a pretty common story on the Bert Show. Totally ghosts her, leaving her wondering, like, what the heck happened? So she hits us up. Tommy, our show director, reaches out to the date and finds out exactly why there has been no communication, zero, since that happened. Charlotte, you there?
I am here.
All right. So before Tommy tells you what his reaction was, as you've been thinking about this the last 10 minutes, as we've had you on hold, nothing comes to mind as to why he might just go like, you know what, that's just not going to work. That we are so opposite that is not going to work.
I mean, I have been racking my brain for over a week now, and I got nothing.
Okay. And I'm assuming here, proving my point, that you would rather hear anything besides nothing.
Yes, definitely.
Okay. Anything besides nothing is better than ghosting. All right, so Tommy, you want to take it from here because you reached out to this dude.
Yep. So we're going to call him Samuel. And yesterday I reached out to Samuel via DM on Insta, and I explained to him our second date update segment. And I asked him if he'd be willing to be honest with us about his date with Charlotte and why she hasn't heard from him. And I explained that she was wondering if she had done something wrong or if there was something he didn't like about her. And he responded that he was tight on time, but he would send me an email, which he did. And here's his response. To be honest, well, before I read this,
Tommy.
you guys guess what he said.
I can't guess because I read ahead and I know what he did.
I did not.
Bert and Mo, you guess what you think.
I guess he just wasn't into it. And yeah, that's really what I think it was. That he just didn't want to say that.
But why wasn't he into it? That's what we have to get to.
He ain't like her. It was one
Why
day.
didn't he like her?
He had options.
What other options did he have?
Other women.
Other women who?
Claire. I don't know. You want me to give you names? I'm panicking.
You're actually getting close. So I'll go ahead and read it. To be honest, I went on another date right after that, and things just took off from there. I hit it off with the other girl in a big way, and we've been spending a lot of time together.
Ah, there we go.
Claire.
I mean, I had a great time with Charlotte, but sometimes you just know when you click with someone, and that's what happened with this other girl. So, yeah, I haven't had the chance to get back to Charlotte. I hope she understands that sometimes these things just happen and life takes you in different directions.
To Claire.
Yep.
If things don't work out with this other girl, though,
Claire.
I might consider giving Charlotte a call.
No.
Okay, now that's messed up.
Come on, man.
No. Was he
Who do you
joking
think he
there?
is?
No, he said, but for now, I'm just living in the moment, Sam.
You kidding
no.
me?
So, Charlotte, literally, there's nothing you did. There was absolutely nothing you did. And so help me, if he reaches back out, I hope you do not respond.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I can understand where he's coming from. Like, I get that, but that doesn't mean you ghost someone, you know, so.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Let's go back to that as I continue this campaign of no ghosting. Had the dude texted you and just said, you know what, I was seeing somebody else and I'm really clicking with her. So thank you for a great time, but I'm going to see how it works with blank, Kristen. would you have been really pissed by that? Or would you have just been, okay, I get it?
I mean, I'd like to think that I would have just been like, okay, I get it. But, I might have been my feelings might have been hurt,
Oh, I would have been in my feelings about it. I would have been like,
rather have my feelings hurt than nothing at all.
I would too.
yeah.
Weren't your feelings hurt once you get ghosted also?
Yeah, definitely.
Well, your feelings aren't going to hurt regardless because you got turned down.
Mm-hmm.
You got rejected. And with rejection comes hurt feelings. And that's going to be understandable under any, whether it's the ghost, whether it's the honesty, whatever. But yeah, no, if a dude told me that, like, yeah, I went out on a date with another girl after you and we ended up clicking, I would 100% in my head start doing, what does she have that I don't?
Okay, but in the scales of justice, all right, we know both are going to lead to some kind of hurt.
Mm-hmm.
What I think ghosting really is like, hey, I just would rather not hurt her feelings, so I'm not going to say anything at all. But really what you're saying is she's going to have her feelings hurt either way.
Yep.
And I would like to feel as if you at least respected me and my time enough to give me something as to why we're not going to be spending any more time together. That would hurt my feelings way less.
Something better than nothing. So
Every time.
So there, I mean, I think if I'm you, I am taking some kind of comfort in that, but there's no way. This dude, though, what a cocky statement. Like, if things don't work out with the other girl, then I'll circle back to the girl that I ghosted. Screw you, dude.
He didn't even say that. He said, I might consider. I might consider giving
F you.
Charlotte a call. No.
Dodge the bullet.
Yeah.
That was 2 sentences too many, Sam.
Yeah, I think that tells me what I need to know for sure.
There you go.
100%. Okay, Charlotte.
The Bert Show.
So, first, thanks for watching. Second, you like what you just watched? That just scratches the surface. Get The Bert Show on any podcast platform. We're so good.